Happy Monday, folks, and welcome back to Season 3 of Park to Prem. How are you lovely lot doing? We are back. It is the Enterprise South kickoff day, and well, it's time to find out, are we the real deal? The media predicting us to finish 5th. We have 3 players in the Media Dream 11 off the back of Monday's transfer special, and you might have noticed I did end up signing Ranson. We left that as a little bit of a mystery. He has joined us, the 19-year-old, straight into the Media Dream 11, and he is an absolutely top-quality goalkeeper. Formerly of Arsenal, of course, and we are going to hope he lives up to the potential that he showed earlier in his career. I have made 2 further transfers since the transfer special, those 2 transfers in question. More depth than anything else. Dylan Jones has joined us. The former Norwich youngster is a Zimbabwean national. Who knows? Hopefully he doesn't get called up to AFCON if Zimbabwe qualify. That would be annoying. He's a very, very good striker, though. Definitely more of a depth option, but good in the air and good with the ball at his feet. And the other player we picked up is Alex Imumene. He's very good. 22 years old, was playing for Bromley. Very well-rounded centre mid. Wanted a bit of centre mid depth. He's one of those players who, I mean, he's just the most average player, isn't he? 9s and 10s across the board. He's just very well-rounded. And I feel like as a backup centre mid, being able to play every single role that we need him to is probably going to be quite useful. I figured to kick off the new season, we would do a little squad rundown. Of course, I've already talked about Ranson, but we did sign a new backup goalie that at one point I thought was going to be the starting goalie in Melvin Minter. Admittedly, we did sign him to be a backup on backup wages. I maintain, though, if we need to use him, he will be very good. In the centre-back area of the team, we are sticking with Watson playing at the heart of the defence as an advanced centre-back, although he's flanked by 2 new additions. Toby Akapo, a super athletic centre-back, not really good at anything else. And Lloyd Afori Mantiu, also known as Lom, he is just a top quality centre-back in the making. Yeah, there's 3 players in the starting 11 for the first game of the year who are playing technically out of position. This man is one of them. The depth at centre-back, though, does look promising, of course. Archie Taylor and Danaher were here last year. Taylor played a load as a starter. There is some interest in him. I don't think I'm going to sell him, but never say never. And, of course, we did also snap up George King. He's not really my kind of centre-back with 7 jumping reach, but there is no denying he is a very talented player. The wing-backs, of course, are the absolute engines of our team. At right back, we are sticking with Ryan Bernal. He was top quality last year. One of our best players in terms of players currently in the starting 11, perhaps the one lacking the most. And the man playing at left back, former Chelsea man, Diakite, of course, can't actually play wing back yet. But I'm hoping the 18-year-old is going to pick it up rather quickly. He is one of the highest earners at the club. I need him to perform. He's another player who's in the Media Dream 11, albeit at centre-back. So I suppose if the experiment of playing him at left wing back doesn't work out, I could maybe move him into the middle and then recall Regan Clayton, who, of course, was our left back for the second half of last year and is, in his own right, a pretty good player. Sam Peckin and Aaron Rowe are going to be the backups in the full-back areas. 2 players who can play either side of the pitch, which is quite nice. I think of all the positions in the team going into the new year, the area that I'm most excited to see in action is the centre mids. Of course, Gibbard, another one of the 3 players in the Media Dream 11. He is going to be the slightly more defensively minded centre midfielder. Kyrie Pierre we picked up midway through last year, and I think he was one of the big reasons our performance has really levelled up. He's actually just signed a new deal through to 2029. Unfortunately, he is now a joint highest earner at the club at £700 a week. So I kind of need him to put in a similar level of performance, if not better, than he did in the Ismian Prem last season. And alongside them, the third of those players that I mentioned just playing out of position, Michael Reindorf. Fantastic goatee, fantastic head of hair, fantastic footballer as well. Really good work rate, really good stamina, really good physicals across the board, really, for this level. A super, super well-rounded player. Going to be playing as a channel midfielder, hoping he's going to get up and down the pitch. If I had one concern with the first team right now, I think my centre mid depth doesn't have a super playmakery creative option. I guess in some ways, Alex Iwumene, who we've picked up, would fulfill that role if I needed him to. He's not exactly a specialist at it, though, is he? Club captain is still Ansu Jane. He is definitely going to be taking a backseat role this year at centre mid. We'll call upon him in an emergency. And last but not least, the most exciting part of the team, the striking area. Look, Michael King, I need him to step up. I need the youngster to continue to perform. He was the boy last year, although he's got a rather big boy next to him, Chukwuemeka Obi. If you were wondering, he is related to Chido Obi, the Manchester United youngster, 18 years old. I mean, look at him. I'd say look at him. He's got 4 pace. But look beyond that. He'll get up to that 4 pace quickly with 10 acceleration. And to be honest, we know why we've signed him. It's for the jumping reach. It's for the first touch. It's for the ability to hold up the play and hopefully give King a partner in crime in the final third. Like I mentioned, Dylan Jones has now joined us. I think he will be the first option in terms of on-off the bench needing to get in a different attacker. Although Calm Bennett, who's been here since we arrived at the club, I think is a more than adequate option to bring on if we need a bit of a game changer. And you might remember Shea Hutchinson at the end of last year took a cut deal to stay at the club. He is listed as a squad player and £100 a week. I think that's kind of perfectly fine for this level. With all the comings and goings, it's always nice just to do a little recap of the squad. Our first team sits at 25 players. Admittedly, there are a couple of younger players here like Archie Taylor and also Kai Reese, Addons Coleman, who I'm actually making available for the under-21. So they will play more of a backseat role. If we have injuries, though, they are the kind of players I think are able just to step up immediately. Just as a little refresher, the board expectation for the coming year is a top half finish. My opinion, I think we should be challenging for the title at the very least. We should be challenging for the playoffs where the top 7 teams will qualify. If I was to label one thing as a little bit of an unknown going into the new year, it has to be the change in tactics. Of course, last year we played something a little bit more conventional, a 5-4-1. This year we've switched to a 2-striker system, stuck in an extra centre mid. We just didn't really have that depth in the wider attacking areas. We've outgrown the players that could play there. It made sense to kind of transition. And out of possession, you might have noticed, I'm actually going to try running 2 pressing centre mids. I'm hoping they're not going to leave too much space in behind them, but if they do, we do have a back 5 and Gibbard for a little bit of coverage, and of course Obi is going to be that outlet centre forward. With his physicality, I'm kind of keen to see what he can do. Anyway, as I already mentioned, first game of the season today is going to be against Slough Town. It is away from home as well. Slough play at Arbour Park. It's been a while since we did an away day. Hopefully it's better than some of the disappointments of last year. Let's go see what it's all about. So for today's away day, we are heading west of London and we are heading to the mighty town of Slough. I feel like I've never heard anything good about Slough. Is it as bad as people make out? I was concerned I wasn't going to be able to find the picture of all the green, but Slough Town FC is very handily marked, and here it is in all its glory. First things first, I see a car park, strong start, and also a load of pitches next door. Welcome to Arbour Park, home of Slough Town Football Club. I think there is some text at the bottom here. They've picked an awful colour for it, haven't they? Is it just me, or does the stadium have a bit of an airport terminal vibe from the outside? Now, there's not a load of roads around the ground, and the Google Street View van didn't go into the car park. They didn't know I was coming, but there's loads of dots on the inside, so I am keen to see what this is all about. Risk of falling, children must be supervised. You know what? I think I'll be okay today. Here's the stadium, by the way. Look at this little balcony, yellow seats. I mean, it's cute, isn't it? Slough Town Football Club. I mean, it might be the stadium with the most seats we've played at in a league game so far. It probably isn't, actually. I mean, it looks quite nice. I just had the weirdest moment of deja vu. When I turn around, some of you are going to have it too. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? I'll turn around. There's a wedding. Who gets married at Slough Town Football Club? I mean, to be fair, I really shouldn't be one to judge. This is actually quite nice, isn't it? I feel like I've done this away day before and I've been to this wedding before. But you know what? I'm going to find new stuff. I'm just inspecting the snacks. I'll tell you now, seeing the different flavours of hula hoops here is quite triggering for me. Recently, I asked the missus to get me some hula hoops. I just wanted some salted ones. And she got me a bundle pack with all the awful flavours. And now I'm bothered about this all again. I will say, if anyone's in the market for cheese and onion hula hoops, please do let me know. Hopefully I won't be arrested because it does say multi-pack and don't sell separately. I think we'll be okay. If you're wondering, Jack, why are you not showing more of the stadium? Look, it's all just wedding pictures. I've decided to survey the car park from above. I mean, as a wedding venue, I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. As a footballing experience, it's Slough. 5 out of 10. Anyway, let's jump into this opening game of the season. On the road, never easy. In terms of the team, you've already seen it. We are at full strength, no injuries, but a few players playing out of position. Reindorf, Lom, and also Diakite, the 3 players, who I'm hoping, because they're well suited to the roles in terms of their attributes, will just perform. It's a new tactical system. I think we are going to have to tinker this through the early stages of the year. But let's see how we fare with it today. Blimey, that's a yellow roof, isn't it? There's our boys. Look at them all. For some reason, just seeing the players in formation with faces, it makes the team feel more real. Someone had been keeping track of the amount of live commentaries where it had rained in a row. I feel like there's a bug still in Football Manager with the amount of rain shown in matches. I don't know if that's just me. They mentioned in the latest patch notes that they'd fixed it. I'm not sure they have. Either that or maybe it just always rains in the south of England, which, you know, I live there. Can confirm it's kind of true, but not to this level. Anyway, Slough have got the ball. We've got loads of players behind it. Can we deal with the play? Hay floats it in. Willard is at the back post. Headed away, but only as far as Greenwood. Also, for some reason, my match speed had reset. I thought we were playing in slow motion. Slough shoot. Oh, my word. Do you reckon if I hadn't changed the match speed, that goes in? Just to be clear, I know it doesn't work like that, but you never know. Butterfly effect and all that. Anyway, Slough have got us on the back foot early doors. To be fair, they are a team tipped for kind of an outside playoff shot this year in terms of the season preview. So away from home with them, you know, I am expecting a little bit of a task at hand, especially with players kind of discovering the new system, a few of them learning new positions. I think it is going to be an experience as Reindorf charges through the middle. I mean, he doesn't know how to play centre mid. He looked like he was trying to play striker there. We had 19% of the ball in this game. You know what? Possession is optional. But I am going to get rid of the pass into space instruction and encourage some passing into feet. Maybe shorten up the passing and lower the tempo a little bit. Because of Obi at striker, by the way, I'm experimenting with floated crosses. I feel like in general, like whipped and low crosses are just better. Even if you have like a decent striker in the air, very often the centre-backs are just as good, if not better. I feel like Obi, with 13 jumping reach and 13 heading, like we've got to give him at least a chance to show us that he can be a weapon in the air. It could end up being a rather short-lived experience. Since I made some changes, we are having more of the possession and then yet to have a shot on target. Sadly, it is still 0-0 with 10 minutes left of the half. Diakite, filling in at left wing-back, gets the ball. Gibbon on a booking is a bit scary. Ball whipped in, but now hits the woodwork. King can't get to the rebound. I mean, they've hit the crossbar, we've hit the crossbar. We'll call it 1-1. End of the first half, 0-0. Not exactly a classic, but I do feel like we stepped up our performance after we made the changes that we made. Not going to make any subs or change things tactically just yet, but obviously with the options we have on the bench and with us having 7 subs this year instead of 5, there are just a few more options we can utilise. Ball's whipped in by Gibbard here. Weird start to the highlight. Oh my word. Watson hits the crossbar. King blazes it over. We've got them on the rocks. Diakite, throw in. Half an hour to try and find a breakthrough. The left back gets fouled. I mean, that's got to be a red card, right? Second yellow card for Hay. Get him off the pitch, referee. The question now is, how are they going to change their shape? The answer is they're just going to play without a right back. I mean, if they're going to play without a right back, right, I'm changing things here. We'll move Reindorf into centre attack in mid, and then out of possession, we'll swap him and Pierre around. He can play as this attacking midfielder role as well. I feel like having the channel midfielder and the channel forward on the same side probably is an awful idea, so we'll flip King and Obi around as well. Gibbard is on a booking for us. Let's make a change there and bring in Danaher. I am also, and this might be controversial, I'm going to sub off King and bring in Hutchinson, I think, in this game here. And you know what? Calm Bennett is coming on as well. We'll play him as a centre forward and we'll put the crossing on low because now we have no aerial ability. Not loved our attacking production so far in this game. We've had chances and not really taken them. And I do think like just getting fresh legs into the team is never a bad idea. Meerholz is going to whip this ball in. Please tell me that's not a penalty. Please tell me that's not a penalty. Who is the number 4? Who is the number 4? It's Diakite on his debut who's given away the penalty. And now their number 4's taking it from the spot. They've gone down a man, and it's Meerholz who took the initial free kick, who's going to slot it into the bottom corner for Slough. Also, you know all the tactical changes I made? Yeah, they actually changed up their shape, didn't they? So that whole idea of focusing one side makes no sense now. Right, we're going to go more direct in our play, although it is still just standard. I am going to push the tempo up. We're going to change the mentality to attacking and try and make something happen here. We've got 20 minutes in a game that I feel like we were actually in the ascendancy in to try and find a goal. Yes, their XG is way higher. It's inflated by a penalty. Let me be petty. Let me be mad. Slough are annoying. I don't like Slough. I've never been to Slough. I never will go to Slough. Let's get a goal. Reindorf, nice play, bringing it forward. Also, sorry to the residents of Slough watching at home. Reindorf, that's the ball. Diakite, you've got to make amends. You gave away the penalty. He cuts inside, gives it to Bennett. Reindorf's header drops, but not into the back of the net from the angle. It was hard to see where it was going. And Slough live to fight another day. Right, I'm going to bring in Rowe at right mid. I'm going to move Diakite up the pitch and actually sub him off for Clayton. Let's get some fresh legs in this wider area. We're going for the win. Does this formation make any sense at all? I have no idea. I call it the arrow. It kind of looks like an arrow, doesn't it? We've got a limited amount of time. Can the arrow find a way through? Clayton, the left back, whips it in. It's half-headed away. Still not completely away from danger here. And I mean, if the arrow works, am I going to want to save this as a custom tactic for when we're desperate? The ball's played forward. Bennett has hit the woodwork. We've hit it twice now. There's 5 minutes left in this game. We've created so much. I don't feel like we've been outclassed here. I feel like 1-0 is a ridiculously harsh result. Admittedly, since they've gone down a man, I think they've actually played better. There's 7 minutes of added time. I just want to see something. Rowan Clayton, get up the pitch. Team instructions, out of possession. It's time to press and try and win the ball quickly. Team shape, out of possession. Clayton forward, row forward. There's no point in trying to sit back in a shape now, is there? Does free pressing centre mids work? We're about to find out. 4 minutes remaining here. I wanted to believe in the arrow. The plan B has become the plan Z. Slough are going to win this via a penalty. And frankly, I'm just annoyed. Not just by the team performance, but the fact that Diakite, who gave away the penalty, literally got the best rating in the team. I mean, that is awful, isn't it? I mean, I will say in our defence, you know, if we just go to the season preview, Slough are predicted to finish 7th. So they're not that bad. That said, I need to see a much better performance in our next game. It's only 3 days away. We're taking on Gosport Borough. They are in 6th. They won their opening game. Let's make sure they don't win 2 in a row. I took the roleplay element of today's episode very seriously. 2 days ago in game we had a match. 2 days ago in real life I had that first match. It's Sunday evening. You're seeing this video tomorrow as I record it. And yes, I did change my shirt. Yeah, behind the scenes of a YouTuber, normally I methodically plan what shirts I'm wearing in videos. And if I need to record over a couple of days, I put the shirt to the side. It got put in the wash, the shirt I wore for the first game. So yeah, if you're wondering why I'm mysteriously now looking more dapper than usual, that's why. I'm probably the only person on planet Earth describing a black t-shirt as dapper. Anyway, let's discuss the team. I've rested up the team from the previous game. I kind of want to just run it back. I know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, but I do feel like Gosport Borough are just that step below, and this is probably an easier game, especially at home, to hopefully secure our first win in the Enterprise South. That's my theory. Let's see if there is any truth to it here. We are running our 5-3-2. I want to see Reindorf make magical things happen. I want to see just all the new additions hit the ground running. There's nothing worse than in Football Manager when you spend some big money and then players don't perform, especially when you've not actually spent that much money or bought in that many players. I suppose the advantage of having recorded this video a couple of days after the first game, I'm almost less annoyed about what happened in Slough. I'm hoping we can put that in the past. You know, what happens in Slough stays in Slough. Now it's time to activate the Lewis plough and just run down teams with Diakite. Here, did he hit the crossbar or did the keeper save it? I'm not sure. The left back gave away the penalty last game. He's turn provider here. Michael King has his first goal at this level of football. He scored in the 7th tier of English football. Tick it off, he's now scored in the 6th tier as well. Will he score in all the tiers? Probably not, but we can dream, can't we? Also, that was a wicked deflection on its way through. Well, we made the most of a set piece. Now they've got an opportunity maybe here. We head it away only as far as Achilles, whose shot was not far wide. It's weird, you know, with Ranson in goal, I am expecting like a match-winning goalkeeper. He's in the Media Dream 11. We've spent a lot of money on him for a goalie. I need him to put in a top level of performance. Last year, Camis did that for us. We've elevated the level of our goalkeeping significantly this year. Obviously, the first game, maybe not the best indicator that we've shared things up. I would love to keep a clean sheet nice and early doors in this first home game. Anyway, Bernal and Obi are working the ball nicely here on the near side together. Reindorf now has the ball, looking to turn and maybe pick out a pass. Picks out Obi, has Bernal on the overlap, picks out the right back. There's a man in the middle. It's King. It's 2. And Bernal grabs his first assist of the year. Michael King is going to have 78 minutes plus whatever added time there is added on at the end of the game to try and find a hat-trick. And what a ball that was in to the box. More difficult for him to miss than score there. Not sure I mentioned it, raining again. There's definitely a bug in FM26 where it rains in every game in England. I'm going to mention it every video until it's fixed. Gibbard, rocking the captain's armband, brings it forward, gives it to Reindorf. Bernal already has 1 assist. Could he grab another here? Or I was going to say maybe a goal. That was speculative at best, wasn't it? Beyond halfway through this first half, approaching the half-an-hour mark. Look at the stats. Yes, we're not having quite as much of the ball as them. We've had a lot of shots, a lot of opportunities. And to be honest, given how this game's going, you wouldn't back against us grabbing another. That's, oh my word, Akapo, the centre-back, almost had a goal of a season. I think the keeper tipped it onto the post. Bernal on the far side with a throw-in. We are really ratcheting up the pressure here. It's whipped in. Diakite back post. How has he missed that? On the balance of play, I think it's safe to say that 2-0 maybe flatters Gosport Borough a little bit. We have really had them penned in here. They have not done a lot, although Achilles, did you just see that? He just did like a breakdancing 360 move. I mean, if they score from this now, it's all because of that move there. Every one of the pitches frozen still to witness Achilles' dance moves. To Shaka for them, to Mohammed. Goes all the way back to Williams. This is a spell of possession that we've not really seen much of from them. But having won the ball, you know our game plan. We're going to look to break quickly. King, in behind, all on his own lonesome for a hat-trick. He's hit the post. I don't know how this is only 2-0. This is one of those bizarre halves of football where I feel like we've been so good that we deserve more. And Diakite's hit the crossbar with an overhead kick. What just happened? Did you see that? If that had gone in, it's the best goal I've ever seen. The left-back could have had a hat-trick in this game, and that's not an exaggeration. Diakite annoyed me in the last game where he gave away the penalty. He's had a great game here, got an assist, and had he scored that, I feel like he would have gone into the Park to Prem Hall of Fame immediately. I'm going to tell the players I'm happy, because I am relatively happy. It's a bit harsh, isn't it, that we've played as well as we have. None of the defenders get good ratings, because they've had no defending to do in this game thus far. Coming up to an hour played here, I'm going to make a couple of changes. Obi has not been good again at striker. I don't want to say it too loudly. He is literally the whole reason that I've got the floated crosses on. But since I think we're going to take him off here, we'll change that instruction. I'm going to bring in Khan Bennett and play him as a centre forward, I think, here. At the back, Akapo's not been great in this game. Let's bring in King for some fresh legs. And I'm going to bring in Danaher as well for Lom at right centre-back. Do feel like in the wide centre-back areas, it's always good just to bring in fresh legs with this system. They have to cover a lot of ground, especially covering the wider areas. Those subs did go through before the hour mark, so if there's anyone playing Enterprise National South fantasy football, I'm very sorry that I subbed off the defenders if you had them in your team before the 60-minute mark. Maybe it's just me who thinks about FPL points when they're playing Football Manager. Anyway, Watson dinks it forward King for the hat-trick. Surely he finishes this. He does. Chris Watson is the world's greatest advanced centre-back, and I don't care what anyone says. He makes absolutely no sense as a centre-back, but with a ball like that, why not play him as the Tom Brady of the non-league? That distribution was superb, and King has a hat-trick in our first home game of the year. If there was ever a question mark as to were some of the youngsters that came through the intake a couple of years ago going to be ready for the step up, I think this game is a resounding yes, they are ready, especially King. He has been absolutely top draw here, and to be honest, you wouldn't bet against him grabbing more in this game. We're on the attack, Pierre to Reindorf. Nice little touch, gives it to Bennett on off the bench. He scores, it's 4. I'm not going to claim to be a football expert, but I do believe the technical term for this kind of match is a mullering. We have mullered them in the middle. We've won the ball repeatedly. We've dominated the play. I mean, look at the number of shots. They have created, well, a fair amount of shots, but when you look at the XG, it makes you realise they have all been from range. There's 3 minutes of added time here. They're going to come. They're going to go. We get a clean sheet. We get a Michael King hat-trick. And I'll tell you what, friends, life is good all of a sudden again. I love the fact that we get the fact that Gosport Borough are shorter by an average of 5 centimetres per player. That used to be a screen you could see in Football Manager. I don't think there's a way to see kind of your team compared to the averages when it comes to both attributes and physical stuff. But good to know we're full of big, meaty men. George King, by the way, one of the shorter, meaty men in the team. He is not the tallest of players. That's his first ever senior game. He's 20 years old. Welcome to the club, George. I'm not going to pretend that today's been the perfect episode to start the year, but you know what? I think we learnt a little bit about ourselves against Slough, and I still don't know how we didn't win that game, and I feel like we set the record straight in that second one. It is still early days, but just under a third of the league make the playoffs. That has to be the aim this year, simply put. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's episode. If you've got any thoughts on the tactics I'm running, maybe you observed some stuff in the matches that I haven't clocked onto, let me know it down in the comments. And besides all of that, I'm going to come back in a few months' time. Maybe it'll be less than a few months. I don't know. Come back tomorrow. There will be more Football Manager. How does that sound? Leave a like if you've enjoyed. Have a lovely rest of your Monday, and I'll see you next time for more. I'm out.